scene.
Hey, wait a minute, you're that homosexual kid. This school doesn't tolerate your culture.
I'm sorry? What did you say? Why would you say that? That's very inconsiderate, and this school is a fine establishment. It should allow all people, all types, including homosexuals. The LGBT community is allowed here.
Well, some religions do forbid this type of behavior, and I'm sorry, but some people abide by that. And not only that, people just don't tolerate, some other people just don't tolerate that behavior.
Are you serious? The schools don't work by educational standards.
We're dead serious.
Schools don't work by religious views. Public schools don't work by religious views. Fully.
It doesn't matter. It's still not right.
How can you say that? Seriously, how? Like, I don't understand. What would get into you to say that? Like, seriously. Give me some more good reasons and maybe that'll explain it.
If I did, you wouldn't understand.
If you did, I would understand.
That is weird.
It's a real shame when stuff like this happens. Just wonder how often it happens every day in schools like ours.
In a few moments, I will sign an executive order that does two things. First, the federal government already prohibits employment discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation. Once I sign this order, the same will be explicitly true for gender identity.
The president put out?
Well, in my district in Colorado, for instance, Boulder Valley School District has had policies consistent with this new guidance for a long time and has had trans students come through. Most districts that have had trans students come through have adopted some form of policies that are consistent with this guidance. It's always hardest for the first kid, first family that's going through it. I think this guidance will make it a little easier because, frankly, districts don't know what to do. I think they're well intended. Their school boards are well intended. The principals are well intended. But they're just not quite sure what to do, and I think this guidance will absolutely help school districts across the country work with families who have kids who are transitioning.
Do you think it's
As principal of this institution, what is your role in ensuring rights and security for transgender and homosexual students?
Well, my responsibilities for all students, part one, but basically to make sure that your rights of education are met. Everybody's rights of education are met.
Excellent, I would agree with you. What are your thoughts on the LGBT stance in American society today, specifically in educational facilities?
I really can only speak about this one, and
okay.
So I have a good relationship with the students that choose to have a relationship with the principal, which I would say isn't everybody. And those that are tell me that they're within that protected class, I do everything that I can to make sure that they have every opportunity available to them.
Excellent. Okay. Do you think it's bad we even have to discuss equality for homosexuals and transgender people?
I think it's disappointing because they're just people.
I agree. And the last one, do you have any specific thoughts or opinions on gay marriage?
Go for it. I mean, if that's your choice, that's your decision, be happy.
I would agree with you. And that will be all. Thank you, Mr. Landry.
You're welcome.
We're good to go.
Go.
LGBT rights interfere with the First Amendment rights.
Well, you may not be necessarily wrong. It's a very gray area, though. So the perspective is that A, you're either against it, or B, you are not against it. And in this case, society has agreed and has been improving in this area. They've been growing, and they've integrated more into society. So basically, they've been increasing their numbers and increasing the acceptance of the LGBT rights in America.
It's still wrong. It doesn't matter. Which is the problem. This is the problem because the fact that it's being let in is it's continuing to become a bigger problem for people to handle.
Here, how about I show you something?
Go.
Right direction.
Let's go to Ken in Tacoma, Washington on our line for Democrats. Ken, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. I find it really interesting that the topic of same-sex marriage seems to focus on marriage more than rights. And I don't think it's about marriage. I live in Washington, and I know a lot of gay couples, and they've been getting married for years. It's about the rights that they are not getting, and I think that it would be more beneficial if we focused more on the rights aspect of it rather than the marriage aspect of it.
Thanks, Ken. You're absolutely right that the reason marriage is important is both because of the dignity and respect that it conveys as a part of our society, but also the legal protections that come along with it for these couples and for their children. And it's important we acknowledge.
Within that first one, it was why are you hoping to achieve it? And like I said, to advocate for students to make sure that they feel comfortable advocating for themselves. Yeah. Do you want me to move on to the third?
Yes, please.
So the third question is, why is it so important to you that the LGBTQ students are welcomed into society? And so I think that my answer to that would be that there's like the equation of equality. I want everyone to be welcomed into society, no matter their gender or sexual identity. So I want to make sure that, especially as young students, vulnerable population in terms of age, I want to make sure that they feel like they have a voice within their community.
Yeah.